It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. I've been reviewing a lot of supermarket lager recently, and for a very good reason. The reason is you guys are interested in it. You guys are wanting to watch whether I like supermarket lager, whether it's worth buying, what's the best, what's the worst. So I've come up with another video today for you, and this is Can British lager, British supermarket lager compete with German supermarket lager? You can buy these in the supermarkets in Germany. You can also, thankfully, buy them in the supermarkets in the UK. These two bottles of beer here were purchased in Morrison's. They come as part of a 3 for £6 deal. Quite a good bargain then at £2 a bottle. If you buy them on their own, they come in at, the Krombacher was £2.50 on its own. The Hofbräu was £3.50. The BrewDog was £3. The Camden Hells lager was £2.50. So a wide variety of prices then for these beers. So maybe we could look at that. Maybe we could do, first and foremost, Camden versus Krombacher, because they're both £2.50, and then do Hofbräu versus BrewDog because they're £3 and £3.50, and then of course mix them all up and try them versus each other later on and come up with a winner. So without further ado then, let's get these beers out and poured. Let's start off with one of my favourite British lagers, brewed by AB InBev, but still left to their own devices down in Camden in London. This is their Helles lager in a 660 millilitre bottle, and this one's coming in at probably, we'll get to the ABV in a moment. So beer pouring out. Another wet day. You can hear the rain on the roof. So we got a crisp, clean looking, straw coloured beer, good levels of carbonation, 3-finger white head. Doesn't that look really good? AB InBev know how to brew a lager. Camden know how to brew a lager. In fact, Camden Town, you have Camden do this fantastic Helles lager, one of my favourite beer styles ever. They also used to do a fantastic Camden Wheat. Camden Wheat was a fantastic beer. So let's open up put those over there a second. Let's open up a German beer then. Now this is Hofbräu Original, £3.50 a bottle, 5.1% ABV. There's the bottle cap. Fantastic beer this, absolutely. I have bought this a few months ago in Morrison's, but I had to travel for it. I had to travel to a big Morrison's superstore a few months ago. I was quite surprised then when I went down to my local, smaller Morrison's store in Barry to find that they had this on their shelves too. I was really pleased with that. So, not so straw coloured as the Camden, good levels of carbonation, still straw coloured, but on its way to being amber. We've got a 4-finger frothy white head. Let's put these beers together. We don't want to mix them up. Let's open up the next beer then. Let's go with BrewDog's Lost Lager. Now, by coming up with these beers, it was just a case of all of these beers were purchased in one Morrison's shop. What I didn't want to do for you guys was me driving around random supermarkets, finding different lagers and then telling you, oh, you have to go over here for this or over here for that. This is just from one supermarket. So it just shows the variety of good lager these days, is that you can go to one supermarket and pick up 4, 5, 6 decent lagers. 2-finger whitehead on the BrewDog Lost, good levels of carbonation, straw coloured beer. This one's slightly hazy, which BrewDog hanging on to their craft roots there. Last but not least, Krombacher Pils, another fantastic beer from Germany. One of my favourites, this. Look at that. So I have managed to have 4 beer mugs of the same style for this video. 4-finger, 3-finger, 4-finger whitehead, good levels of carbonation, amber beer in the glass. Then there we go, that's the pour. Quite clear, darker looking beer, this. Right, I promised you we'll go with the 2 cheapest beers first. So that's Camden Hells and Krombacher. So let's put those 2 beers together. Krombacher, my right, your left. So the Camden's slightly, it's got this kind of frosted, it's been in the glass, it's just condensation. It's not hazy at all. Slightly darker, both have very, very good head retention. Krombacher, my right, your left. Aroma then. Slightly spicy, slightly peppery. Smells very, very good. A real kind of authentic German lager. Nice malty grains coming through. Nice spicy pepperiness. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Oh, first thing I get is that beautiful stinging nettle, spicy peppery hop. Then you get some grain. Then you get that fantastic drinkability. Then you get that carbonation pushing the beer on the inside of the mouth. Krombacher Pils. None of these beers want to like show off their ABVs. What is going on here? I'm sure Krombacher, 4.8%. 4.8% ABV for the Krombacher. A real tasty brew. Camden is AB InBev 4.6 ABV. The ABVs are really small these days, really small. So tasting the Krombacher, let's taste the Camden Hells lager. Slightly more softer aroma to this one. Cheers. I tell you what, that is good. That is good, and it's competing. That is competing with the Krombacher. That is really, really impressive. Really impressive. That is tasty beer. Little bit more of a, say, a British astringent bitterness on the back end. It's a little bit more astringent, but it's peppery, it's spicy, it's bitter, it's drinkable, it's refreshing. You've got all that malt quality coming through. I'm going to have to do a proper side-by-side here. Proper, like, sip and sip. Camden. Camden's good. The Camden's good. But so is the Krombacher. So is the Krombacher. The Krombacher is more, the hops are more pronounced. The hops are more pronounced. It's more of a stinging nettle, kind of classic German. But then again, it's Pils versus Helles. It's Pilsner versus Helles. They're two different styles of beer. The Krombacher is going to be more bitter because it's a Pilsner. Pilsners are more bitter. The Helles Lager is supposed to be like this. It's supposed to be slightly less on the hops, and that's exactly what it's doing. So two very, very good beers then. One from Germany, one from the UK. And importantly here, the British brewed Camden is competing with the German Pilsner. That's fantastic to know. I've never done this, but I'm like you. I've never put German lager versus British lager together. It's the first time I'm doing it, and I'm quite surprised. I thought the German lager was going to smash it. It hasn't. BrewDog Lost Lager. Mellow, lemony, very mellowy, kind of lemony, kind of New World like lager compared to the Helles and compared to the Krombacher Pilsner. Very much kind of, the first thing that came to my mind was mellow. It's more of a fruity hop rather than a bitter hop here. But not bad, not bad. It's just different. That's New World for me. Compared to the other two, that's New World Lager. That's kind of like maybe some Nelson Sauvin or something in here. 4.5% ABV for the BrewDog. Hofbräu. Hofbräu and MÜNCHEN. Oh, my goodness me. Just making sure I picked up the right glass. I was just singing to myself then, thinking, oh man, have I got the right way? It is. It is. This is the most expensive beer. 5.1% ABV. It's the highest in the ABV. It's been brewed in Munich. It's Munich beer. You've got that stamp there. It's 50 pence more than any other bottle of beer here. It's got that fantastic, crisp German style bitterness. It also has that fantastic stinging nettle flavour from the hops. It's peppery, it's spicy, it's bitter. It's also very drinkable. It's nicely carbonated. Yeah, this is good stuff. This is good stuff. I think the reason why it's more expensive is not because there's better ingredients in the beer. I think it's more expensive because Morrison's have done a deal here with Hofbräu, and they've exported the beer as part of an exclusive deal, and you've got transportation costs, you've got the fact that it's probably a smaller batch that they brought over to the UK. I mean, if you think of Krombacher here, you can buy Krombacher in Tesco's, Morrison's, Asda. It's in all of the majors. It's in all of the majors, and they probably ship it by the absolute container-full to the UK. What's happened here is that Morrison's have done a deal with Hofbräu, MÜNCHEN. It's smaller batch, it costs more money. It's not necessarily a better beer. It's 50 pence more because of transportation. It's a very, very good quality beer. If you want to try an authentic German beer, then go for either Krombacher or the Hofbräu. If you want to try something like authentically German, then go for the Hofbräu. What I'm trying to say here is the Krombacher is authentically German. It's just more widely available in the UK. This is more of a secret little beer that kind of like not many people know about. Only people who look really hard in Morrison's for this beer will find this beer. It's worth tracking down. It's very good, but is it better than the BrewDog? Let's put them side by side. BrewDog. It's not really going to compete. Unless you like that kind of new world, slightly tutti fruity lager, tutti fruity hoppy lager. If you're a fan of that, it will compete. This is personal preference. Hofbräu. Yeah, the Hofbräu is just better malt quality, better mouthfeel, decent amounts of carbonation on both beers, a rasping bitterness on the back end, which I like from a German style Hofbräu original. 5.1, probably Pilsner. Could be Helles, probably Pilsner. Tasting like a Pilsner with a bitterness. So I'm going to say Hofbräu wins this battle compared to BrewDog. But I tell you what, Camden Town, that probably competed much better with the Krombacher. But this battle ain't over. Let's put the two British beers together. Let's drink BrewDog Lost Lager and let's drink Camden Hells. BrewDog Lost, both good lacing on the glasses, both good head retention, both good carbonation, both nice and clear, both nice and crisp looking. For me, BrewDog's, the reason why I'm putting these two beers together is BrewDog is losing this battle. Yeah, the Camden Hell is much more truer to itself when it comes to being authentic Helles lager, authentic German style lager. The BrewDog Lost, it's a little new world, so I'm going to knock the BrewDog Lost Lager out. That's not saying it's not great beer. I am not saying it's not great beer. It's decent beer. It's decent beer. It just doesn't compete with these three beers. So BrewDog is going. BrewDog, 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 for BrewDog Lost Lager. Pardon me. Now we're left with 3. Camden Hells, Krombacher, Hofbräu. Let's just sip. Krombacher. Beautiful. Beautiful beer. Biscuity, bready, nice bitterness on the back end. Really decent beer from Krombacher. Really decent Pilsner. If ever Glastonbury's on, or if there's a concert or music or something, or barbecue, Krombacher for me. Readily available, reliable beer. Hofbräu. That's good too. This is going to be so hard. That's good too. Little bit more bready. Little less hops on the back end. Little bit less of that kind of biting bitterness from the Hofbräu. More well-rounded, I would say. This is tough. Camden Hells. Right. Whoa. There's a rasping bitterness on the Camden Hells. There is. I'm tasting this rasping bitterness. It's a little bit thinner. It's a little bit crispier. It's a little bit crispier and thinner than the two German beers. Do you know, amazingly here, amazingly, I'm going to knock out the Hofbräu. I'm going to knock out the Hofbräu because it costs 50 pence more. And now this is just UK stuff here. This is just like readily available UK supermarket beers. And price here is a reflection. Price here is a reflection because it's more money. It's more money, and it's not as... You're not getting a great deal of difference. You are not getting a great deal of difference by paying 50 pence more from this Hofbräu. It's a fantastic beer, but at the present moment in the UK, it's the most expensive one. So I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Say it's a fantastic beer. It's just let down a little bit on price at the moment. If Morrison's can do a better deal with Hofbräu, drive that price down a little bit more, then it's going to be a closer battle. But we all want to save a few pennies, don't we? And that factors into my estimation of an 8 out of 10 at this moment. So, our German versus UK beer battle, lager battle, is going rather well. We've knocked out a German beer, we've knocked out a UK beer. It's Germany versus England, Britain, let's call it Britain, because I'm from Wales. And let's knock out a beer. Let's knock out a beer. It's going to be really tough because what you have to remember here, Helles Lager is a different style to Pilsner. It's not as bitter. It's supposed to be not as bitter. This is going to be really tough. Camden Hells. Oh, it's good, it's drinkable, it's refreshing, slightly less hoppy, which is supposed to be for the Helles Lager. I'm super excited for this. A little bit of carbonation pushes the beer around the inside of the mouth. Great drinkability. Right, I'll tell you what I'm going to say. If I've got £2.50 in my pocket, which these two beers are, these two beers are £2.50. That's probably a load of my lovely German china gone down the back of the... Yeah. Let's start again. If I had £2.50 in my pocket, which beer would I buy? Oh, it's a daily occurrence. I get this all the time. Super fun being a beer reviewer with cats. Camden Hells, £2.50. Krombacher, £2.50. My wife just come to see what the racket was. I'm going to start again. Camden Hells. I need to just... Beautiful beer, the Camden Hells. Really beautiful beer. Less bitter, great drinkability, lovely and refreshing. I've got £2.50 in my pocket. Krombacher Pils. A little bit more of a rasping bitterness. Same drinkability, good carbonation. I've got £2.50 in my pocket. Where does it go? There or there? I'm going to say Krombacher. I'm going to say Krombacher on a personal level. On a personal level, I'm going to say Krombacher. I just prefer that rasping bitterness. I prefer that lovely little bit of bitterness there. But if you guys would prefer a more rounded beer with less bitterness, then you guys should choose the Camden Hells. The Camden Hells is a 9 out of 10. The Krombacher Pils is a 10 out of 10. Krombacher wins. I hope you like this video. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.